Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of pointless things, where we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay, because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 are Gordoon and Darrock, and Gordoon and Darrock are a dwarf and orc located at the Blue Sky logging grounds in the Grizzly Hills, and both of them offer you a log ride down to Venture Bay based on if you are Alliance or Horde. So Gordoon says, "Hello, whatever class you are, you're ready to head on down to Venture Bay and crack some Horde skulls?" While Darrock says, "You want Darrock to send you to Venture Bay?" So they both really have a way with words. And the reason I put them on this list is it feels like they're working at a water park, but without having to follow any safety regulations. You know what I mean? It's like, get on the log and away you go. It's almost like they're a glorified flight master where instead of having to send people all over, they're just like, hop on the log and down you go. I guess the only downside would be not as many people are taking log rides, so you're kind of just standing around doing nothing for a lot of the day, but you still get to stand by running water and you get some great scenery, so that's pretty nice. And so I'd say Gordoon and Darrock got some pretty cool jobs, and that's why they're number 10. 9. Number 9 are the goblins that used to manage the Zeppelins that now just kind of stand around and tell you to take a portal. If you talk to Hindenburg, he will say, "The Purple Princess crew has gone on strike. Something about not getting paid for the last 11 years. I wasn't really listening. As members of the Horde have utilized our exemplary services for so long, we have provided mage portals for distinguished individuals, such as yourself. I promise the trip will be mostly painless." And then if you talk to Frezza in Orgrimmar, they say, "The Thunder Caller's under maintenance. It caught fire just one too many times. Shame, really." And so they just really have to stand around and tell people to take the portal, and that's it. However, I don't know who's keeping these portals open. I guess it's these goblins standing here. Maybe they're goblin mages, but they're not channeling the portal like they do in the big cities, right? Where they got all the portals all over. I don't know how it works, which, by the way, mages keeping the portals open, one of the worst jobs in World of Warcraft over on Pointless Top 10 Worst Jobs. But that's why the goblins that don't have to manage the Zeppelins are number 9. 8. Number 8 are the resort staff at the steam pools in Feralis, but not just any of the resort staff, because there's a lot of mediocre resort staff jobs there as well, but the ones that get to wash the mammoths. And from what I read on Wowpedia, it seems that the resort offers mammoth rides, which is why they have these mammoths here in the first place. But it just seems like it would be so much fun to have this big hose thing, and you're just hosing down a mammoth all day long. Everyone else has to like walk around and deal with the people and be waiters and waitresses and cook and do all that, and you're just standing there hosing down a mammoth. Now, granted, it might smell bad, but I feel like after you're there a while, the smell would probably go away. You'd get used to it. It also appears that there's some goblins that are washing the mammoth with soap and some weird animation. I don't know what they're doing, but I don't want to be one of them. I want to be one of the goblins with the water hose. I also kind of wanted a reason to just put these guys on the list because I love the fact that there's just a bunch of goblins washing a mammoth. It also seems like they don't actually carry a water hose or a water gun. Like they're just carrying some invisible thing that shoots out water. Like, look at that. There's nothing there. So I don't know what they're doing, if this is crazy goblin engineering or just a graphical glitch, but it's been like that for as long as I can remember. So that's why the goblin mammoth washers are number 8. 7. Number 7 are Cousin Slowhands and Mystic Bird Hat, who travel along with you in the Grand Expedition Yak. And I put them on this list because number 1, they get to ride along on the yak wherever you're going. And number 2, they get all your business for transmogrifying and repairing all your stuff. So they make a bunch of money, and on top of it, they get money from everybody around you in your party or your raid. I also don't know what happens to them when they go away on the yak. Like, are they like Pokemon where they go into the Pokeball and nobody knows what happens? Or they got like a little house in there? Or like, do they just go unconscious? Like, I have no idea. They also have some phenomenal quotes, such as Cousin Slowhands saying, "I'm just a pathetic creature of meat and brew. Maybe you could roll a barrel. Munchies, crunchies, lucky doos, and loot. You could die of dysentery out here. And I was going to have a party and invite Mystic Bird Hat, but you dismissed him." And speaking of which, Mystic Bird Hat says, "Your yak is in another stable. I am Yak Rider. This is my yak." And yak. Yak never changes. So yeah, a lot of their quotes are references to other video games or movies and stuff, but overall, it seems like they're having a fun time, so that's why they're number 7. 6. Number 6 are two people in Borealis. We have Lincoln J. Lemthebi, I don't know how you say that, and Chef Patrick. And I decided to group them up because they're pretty close together in Borealis, so I was like, whatever. It's my list, I can do what I want. But Lincoln J. Lemthebi is a human located at Hook Point, and he runs the Lemthebi Auction House. And he just looks like he's having a fun time selling a bunch of stuff. He'll be like, sold a haunted memento for 18 gold. Frankly, I wouldn't pay even a copper for this, but it's not my money. Sold a dreadnought pauldrons to the young man in the front row for 756 gold. Doesn't seem you can wear them, but oh well. Sold a chromatic sword for 281 gold. You're certainly not going to be sneaky with this blade. See, I was just having fun saying all those quotes out loud. Imagine the fun he's having improving all of it. His name is also a reference to Sotheby's, which is one of the world's largest brokers of fine and decorative art, jewelry, and collectibles. And then we have Chef Patrick, who's located at the Hops Line and Sinker Brewing in Borealis. And his whole thing is that, sure, he's just another food vendor, but he actually will tell you what pairs with what types of foods. So for example, he says, I recommend pairing our pontoon pilsner with our zesty salted tideway cod. The bright bitterness of the beer contrasts the sweetness of the cod rather nicely, while the hops adds a spicy complement to the fish's notable saltiness. And you can just like go through and click on all these, and he actually has a bunch of different recommendations. And so if I had to be an NPC that sold food in this game, I'd want to be Chef Patrick. You get to talk about all the things you love with beer and pairing beer with food. It'd be great. And so that's why Chef Patrick and Lincoln J. Lemthebi are number 6. 5. Number 5 are Boldar and Habdash, and Boldar and Habdash are both located at the Grand Bazaar in Dazar'alor, and both of them try to sell you things that are definitely not worth the amount of money that they are selling them for. So Boldar says, buy Boldar's rocks. I got the bestest rocks here. I sell for a good price. Want to be big and strong like Boldar? Buy one of my rocks, then lift and smash with it every day. Then maybe you get big and strong. Maybe not as big and strong as me, though. Meanwhile, Habdash says, me have good idea. You buy 2 hats, you wear 1 hat. You give other hat to friend, family, mate, me no judge. Of course I sell 2 hats at same time. I have 2 heads. I see you only have 1 head. Me sorry for you, but you can keep extra hat. But when you buy his hat box, you get 2 twill covers, which sell for 68 silver and 77 copper each, even though the box was 20 gold. So man, he is making quite a good profit off of those hats. Meanwhile, Boldar sells you the Smooth Rock, Shiny Rock, Fly Rock, Hard Rock, and Magic Rock. My favorite of which are Shiny Rock, which says, this one pretty worthless, ha ha ha, not good for much, and Magic Rock, this one's specifically magic. My chief told me so. Promise it magic or your money back. But if you try to get your money back, he only gives you 25 silver even though you paid a gold. So yeah, I'd say these ogres are living a pretty good life with the amount they're upcharging for what they're selling. So that's why they're number 5. 4. Number 4 is another combo. We have Razzle Fireborn and Shandy Glossgleam located in the Photonic Playground in Dalaran. And Razzle Fireborn seems to be the proprietor of this art gallery, and it seems like he's just chilling, reading a bunch of books, and making sure nothing gets a little too crazy. There's this gnome walking around admiring all the paintings, and then you can't even interact with Razzle Fireborn, so he can't even deal with any of the customers. If they come up to talk to him and be like, hey, can I buy something, or hey, whatever, he won't talk to you. He has no interaction, so that must be peaceful, not having to deal with the public. And on top of that, he gets to show off all his paintings, which some of these paintings are actually really cool paintings. Meanwhile, upstairs, you've got Shandy Glossgleam out on the balcony, and he washes people's clothes using his personal water elemental, Aquanos. And so he says, are you surprised to see me here? Everyone needs clean laundry, and what better way to do it than with your own water elemental? Simply bring your laundry, pay a nominal fee, and before you know it, everything will be fresh and clean. So he doesn't even do anything. He just has his water elemental wash all your clothes, and then he gets paid for it. So yeah, both of these jobs seem great. Unless you're the water elemental, I guess. And that's why they're number 4. 3. Number 3 is Rendell, and Rendell is located in Castle Nathria, and he stands at the entrance repairing everybody's armor, and so he stands in front of a big pile of gold, which he clearly accumulated from repairing everybody in the raid's armor. And I put Rendell at number 3 because clearly he's making a ton of money, right? Like, who wouldn't want to be Rendell? He's just standing there with an anvil, repairing everybody's armor, and he's just like, oh man, I don't even know where to store all this money. I also love the fact that Blizzard decided to do something like this where everybody knows that repair people are probably making a ton of money in WoW, and they're like, you know what if we just have fun with it and put a bunch of gold behind them to show how much money this guy's actually making. I don't know, it was nice to see that. He can also be found in Zareth Mortis repairing a bunch of stuff, but I mean, he can do whatever he wants now. He's practically retired, so that's why Rendell is number 3. 2. Number 2 are the Half Hill Goat Herd located in the Valley of the Four Winds. And when I went to the Valley of the Four Winds, I was like, there's gotta be some cool job here in Pandaria, right? And I was looking around, and then I saw this Half Hill Goat Herd guy just meditating with a bunch of goats standing around. And I was like, all right, this is looking pretty good. And if you look at the half-hill goat herd that are just leading the goats around, I mean, the goats are just chilling. They're like following them. They're like, yeah, whatever, I'll follow you. They're not being, you know, rebellious or anything. They're all just following, chilling, having a good time. It seems very peaceful. And I mean, you get to live in Valley of the Four Winds and look out at one of the most majestic landscapes in all of World of Warcraft. And I know from a fact from doing pointless top 10 food on tables and barbecues that Half Hill has some unbelievable food they could go get. You even got this guy who has like apples that are gigantic. Those are some of the biggest apples I've ever seen. There's gotta be a pointless top 10 I can put him into. But yeah, being a goat herd just seems like a really chill job, and that's why the Half Hill goat herd are number 2. And number 1 is Punchio, and Punchio is a goblin monk sitting atop a rock in the lake in Orgrimmar's Valley of Wisdom, and players can pay Punchio 99 gold, 99 silver, and 99 copper for sage advice. And the advice that he gives you is, if you can do it, then sell it. If you let a sucker keep their coin, now there are 2 fools. You can't buy wisdom, but you can buy training. Do 100 push-ups every day and you'll be able to defeat any foe in just 1 punch. Never provide refunds. And my favorite, not all goblins are greedy, but beware those who charge for advice. So not only is this goblin just chilling on this rock surrounded by water, having a peaceful time, but then he's charging you practically 100 gold to be like, you shouldn't have did that. That's like if I told you to drop a super thanks on this video because you really appreciate it, and then being like, I don't know why you did that, idiot. So really, I'm practically like this goblin guy already. And that's why he's number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you want to check out more Pointless Top 10s, we had Pointless Top 10 Worst Jobs in WoW. It's the opposite of this one. Or you can check out barbecues from last week. Also, consider supporting the channel on patreon.com/Wowcrendor or by becoming a channel member. Okay? Okay. See ya.